London is not expanding quietly. It is repositioning itself. Over the coming decade, Britain's capital is tied to nearly $150 billion in large-scale infrastructure and regeneration investment. A coordinated wave of airports, tunnels, housing districts, and transport corridors that could redefine not just London's skyline, but Britain's economic trajectory. This isn't routine capital spending. It's a structural bet. The question is no longer whether London will grow. It's whether it can grow fast enough and efficiently enough to remain competitive in a world where cities like New York, Paris, Dubai, and Singapore are accelerating their own mega transformations. Because infrastructure is not neutral. It either compounds momentum or exposes weakness. And right now, London is testing both possibilities at once. Number 1. Heathrow expansion, the global gateway question. Heathrow is already operating near its limits. 2 runways, limited slots, constant scheduling pressure. For years, the debate around a 3rd runway has symbolized Britain's wider hesitation about growth. Now, proposals approaching $49 billion aim to expand capacity, modernize terminals, reroute infrastructure, and strengthen international connectivity. The promise is straightforward: more flights, more trade, more jobs, more global reach. But expansion in 2026 is not expansion in 2006. Environmental scrutiny is sharper. Carbon targets are binding. Legal challenges move faster. Construction costs are higher. Financing conditions are tighter. Heathrow is not just concrete and steel. It is political risk embedded in asphalt. If the expansion proceeds smoothly, London reinforces its role as a global aviation hub, a key artery linking Europe to North America, Asia, and emerging markets. If it stalls again, it sends a different message: that Britain struggles to deliver controversial but strategic infrastructure. This isn't just about landing planes, it's about landing confidence. Number 2. Lower Thames Crossing, repairing a national choke point. East of London lies one of the UK's most stressed transport links, the Dartford Crossing. When it backs up, freight delays cascade across supply chains. The Lower Thames Crossing, estimated between 10 and 16 billion, proposes a 23-kilometer route including twin road tunnels beneath the river. It is designed to redistribute traffic, improve resilience, and support long-term freight growth. On paper, it solves a bottleneck. In practice, it introduces complexity. Major tunneling projects face geotechnical uncertainty, environmental assessments, community opposition, inflation risk, phased construction timelines stretching into the 2030s. You're not just digging through soil, you're digging through public patience. If completed on schedule and within budget, the crossing becomes a strategic freight spine for the Southeast. If costs escalate or traffic assumptions change, the narrative shifts. It becomes a cautionary tale. And in infrastructure, perception often shapes policy more than blueprints. Number 3. Brent Cross Town, the urban densification experiment. Not all mega investments are tunnels and runways. Some are neighborhoods. Brent Cross Town, valued around $8 billion, is transforming a retail-heavy suburban zone into a mixed-use urban district with thousands of homes, commercial space, parks, and transit upgrades. It represents a different kind of gamble. Instead of expanding outward, London is intensifying inward. The logic is sound. Housing demand remains high. Commuting patterns are evolving. Mixed-use districts create economic resilience. But regeneration lives or dies in the overlap years. Years where construction cranes dominate the skyline. Years where only half the promised amenities are operational. Years where buyers and renters must trust renderings more than lived reality. A district doesn't become successful because of square footage. It succeeds when people stay after dark. If Brent Cross proves that suburban London can urbanize without losing identity, it sets a precedent for future regeneration. If it underdelivers, skepticism about large-scale housing projects deepens. And housing pressure, more than traffic congestion, defines whether a city feels functional. Number 4. Silvertown Tunnel. Congestion cure or strategic risk. The Silvertown Tunnel is designed to relieve one of East London's most persistent pressure points, the aging Blackwall Tunnel. For decades, breakdowns and bottlenecks at Blackwall have disrupted commuters, freight vehicles, and bus services, creating ripple effects across the capital's road network. Costing over $1 billion, Silvertown introduces a new twin-bore tunnel beneath the Thames, with dedicated bus lanes and modern safety standards. On paper, it strengthens reliability. It adds redundancy. It reduces the vulnerability of relying on a single overburdened crossing. But large road projects in dense cities always carry a second layer of tension. Transport models may predict smoother flow, yet critics warn about induced demand, the idea that increasing road capacity can attract additional traffic over time. If vehicle volumes rise, congestion relief may narrow rather than expand. This isn't just about engineering, it's about alignment. If tolling structures, public transport incentives, and emissions policies integrate effectively, Silvertown becomes a resilience upgrade. If policy and infrastructure move in different directions, it risks reinforcing car dependency in a city committed to climate targets. The real question isn't whether the tunnel gets built, it's whether it reshapes behavior or simply accommodates it. Number 5, Britain's infrastructure strategy. Coordination is destiny. Behind Heathrow, the Lower Thames Crossing, Brent Cross, and Silvertown sits something larger than any single runway, tunnel, or housing district. It is Britain's long-term infrastructure strategy, a framework that links transport, housing, energy, and digital connectivity into one national growth plan. Taken together, the ambition approaches generational scale. But scale without coordination becomes fragmentation. Air capacity must align with rail access. Expanding Heathrow only works if passengers and workers can reach it efficiently. New housing must align with transit reliability. Thousands of additional homes cannot function without dependable transport corridors. Freight tunnels must integrate with motorway strategy, or congestion simply shifts from one bottleneck to another. Energy upgrades must support denser urban districts, or growth strains outdated grids. If each mega project operates independently, London gains isolated assets. If they synchronize, London gains velocity. And velocity is what global cities compete on. The decisive window stretches from now into the early 2030s. These are the overlap years, when legacy systems remain active while new infrastructure phases in. Old rail lines operate alongside new stations. Existing crossings handle traffic while new tunnels are constructed. Budgets are recalibrated. Political leadership may change before projects reach completion. Mega projects rarely collapse because of a lack of vision. They strain under delivery. Higher interest rates tighten financing margins. Construction inflation increases exposure to overruns. Public skepticism magnifies delays. The margin for error is thinner than it was a decade ago, and tolerance for mismanagement is lower. Yet London has navigated transformational eras before. The underground expansion reshaped commuting patterns across the capital. Canary Wharf redefined London's financial geography and proved that large-scale regeneration could succeed. The Olympic redevelopment catalyzed East London's revival. Crossrail demonstrated that persistence, even after setbacks, can eventually overcome complexity. But history does not guarantee repetition. Today's fiscal climate is less forgiving. Borrowing is more expensive. Growth forecasts are cautious. Political consensus is harder to sustain across multi-year construction timelines, which reframes the entire $150 billion question. Is this a disciplined reinvestment in national productivity, or an ambitious stretch during economic uncertainty? Infrastructure compounds over time. If Heathrow expands successfully, global connectivity deepens and trade capacity strengthens. If the Lower Thames Crossing stabilizes freight flows, supply chains become more resilient. If regeneration districts deliver housing at meaningful scale, affordability pressure moderates. If tunnels align with sustainable transport strategies, congestion stabilizes rather than intensifies. But if delays stack, If budgets balloon, if coordination fractures, then momentum dissipates. And momentum once lost is expensive to recover. London stands at an inflection point. Build boldly and risk political friction. Build cautiously and risk strategic stagnation. So which of these projects truly defines Britain's next decade? The runway? The tunnel? The housing district? Or the ability to execute them all as a coherent system? Because in the end, the real gamble is not the price tag. It is whether delivery matches ambition. Announcements create headlines. Execution writes history.